Welcome to another episode of Chicago Talks. I am your host, Ray, and today I am accompanied by Mocha 2.0.
Mocha 2.0.
Oh, I'm sorry. Respectful name, MochaMocha 2.0. She is a choreographer, a creator, and a dance enthusiast. MochaMocha 2.0 is the hottest name on the Chicago scene, known for her ability to light up any room with her bright personality, amazing moves, and sensual nature. MochaMocha 2.0 is the go-to dancer for all parties and events. Aside from being the CEO of Body Confidence for Queens, a trailblazing dance company native to Chicago that teaches queens how to gain confidence in their bodies through dance. Mocha is a very high-profile performer, and she's requested by many for her energy, dance skills, and her ability to host and produce shows. Well, welcome to the show, Queen. How are you?
I feel amazing. Thank you for having me.
No, for sure. Thank you for joining me. So the first question is, how long have you been a dancer and what made you step into that scene?
I was dancing. I originally started dancing people dancing like elementary school, high school, all that stuff. So I've been dancing since I knew how to move. Elementary, high school, and then went into college, joined some dance teams there. I also created my first dance troupe in college. And then right after I graduated, came back to Chicago, started auditioning for some burlesque troupes. And then I want to say 2 years later is when I created BCQ. 2 or 3 years later, like 3 years later, I created BCQ. But what made me just like get into dance overall was because that was my biggest outlet. Like that's how I express myself. Sometimes I don't really know how to express myself through words, so movement just helps me. Yeah.
Okay. What school did you go to? What college?
High school or college?
College.
College. I went to Illinois College in Jacksonville, Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you first started that group, like what kind of dance was it?
The dance team was a mix of like a whole bunch of international students. So it was 8 of us. It was like 2 Africans. I had 2 people of Asian descent. So like we was legit fusion all of our dance styles together, like stuff that they was doing back in Africa, stuff that they was one of the folks is also from Lebanese. She was from Lebanon. So we were just fusion styles together and then performing whatever like dance moves that we learned from each other. So I always say it was like an Afro-centric type of vibe. After a while, we did also have like a person who came from like a majorette background. So we was just like, I don't know what to call it. I don't know what to call it. Multicultural. I'll say that. It was a multicultural dance troupe. But that was also the first time that I started to learn like Afro beats and that type of style of dancing. Was in college.
That's fire though. That's fire though. That's real fire. I like that. Did y'all do like competition and stuff like that, or it's just just to do it?
We didn't get that far. The most we did was perform for the college, and then sometimes they let us perform at games. But like other than that, like the school already had their own dance team, but a bunch of us tried out and we didn't make it because we weren't familiar in ballet. That was the original reason why I created the college dance troupe. Nobody knew ballet. Like that's not the only style of dance. So it was like, we're going to show y'all that there's other styles of dance other than just this. So we created that troupe and like, we was the hottest thing on campus. It was lit.
As you should be.
It was good. It was a dope time.
Describe a time where you felt your lowest confidence-wise and how were you able to pull yourself out of it?
I would say the time I felt my lowest confidence-wise was right before I created BCQ. I was in like a really bad relationship, domestic, emotionally, mentally, physically, all that stuff. I was in a really bad relationship, and it was like we were together for like 2.5 years, and throughout that time, I didn't even recognize myself. Like, I mean, of course, I still look the way I am, but I didn't feel like I was pretty because like the stuff that I was going through with this person, like the way that they talked to me, all the things that were going on, like mentally, physically, spiritually, I was just like down. about myself, like very down. I wasn't able to do like normal day-to-day things, and I also feel like that was the longest time that I also was depressed, and it was because of that relationship. So the way that I got myself out of it is I started reading books about confidence, and like I'm like, this is not the person who I was. It was like I was a different person before I started dating this person, so I wanted to get back to my old self. And part of the way I did that was just like I was reading books, and then after that I started going to dance classes, and then after that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start back dancing. Like I just went to college, came back home, and now I'm just like not dancing, so I'm gonna start back dancing. The first thing I did was created this. It wasn't necessarily a class. It was Women Wednesdays, and then I created Motivation Mondays, and then after that I started doing. I did some online classes, and then I did in-person classes, and then from there I was like body confidence, and I was like we're queens, and I was like body confidence for a queen. So I just like kept building off of that, but the more I started to grow BCQ, I like distanced myself from the person at the same time. So it was like that's how I grew out of feeling down and like low in confidence and low in my spirit.
One thing that I come to realization about is like you gotta go through some very, very low points. Like some people are very much aware of who they are internally, but when they get put into different situations, they do tend to forget who they are. And it's like you got to be put down in order for you to be like, okay, damn, like this is not who I am. Like now that's your wake up moment. Like you got to get it together. So I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. So you definitely had to lose yourself to find yourself again and actually help others to find themselves and gain that confidence that you once lost, because you know what it's like to be in their shoes.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm like, it gets better. That's why I always tell people, like, it gets better. You just have to want better in order for it to get better. That's it.
Definitely. Because it's not going to get better if you don't make no changes.
Or you can't sit there and complain.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't just sit there and complain. Where's the progress? Where's the plan? Create a plan and like stick to that plan so it can get better. Don't just be like, oh, I hate my life, or I hate this, I hate that. Like, no, we got to get up and do something. We are the masters of our destiny. We are in control of our lives. Like, I understand there's a lot of things that we cannot control, but there's also a lot that we can control.
Yep.
So take control of that.
For sure. Well, technically, you already kind of answered this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Okay.
So, being the CEO of Body Confidence for Queens, what was the inspiration behind creating it?
The inspiration was definitely me losing myself and not knowing my power and not knowing, like, myself, not believing in myself, not thinking I'm pretty, not just, like, all these things that I wasn't. And I'm like, and during that time, I also knew, I'm like, I'm not the only, like, woman that's out here going through this shit. And it took for me to get fed up with myself and also be like, bro, like, we are very fucking powerful. Like, I strongly believe that women are so fucking powerful. And, like, sometimes, a lot of the times, we forget our power. A lot of people don't even know that they have power. You get what I'm saying? So my inspiration behind BCQ is reminding folks that, like, bro, you are powerful. Like, bro, you are beautiful. Like, you're the shit. You can do and be anything that you want to be. So it's like, I created this troupe to dance, but also for people to, like, we're royalty. To understand that we are royalty.
It's crazy you brought up power, because yesterday I wrote a thread and what did I say? I said I faced the demon in order to remember the power that I needed to walk into and the power that surrounded me. And I too have forgot who I was, and I had lost my voice for like quite some time. And I'm very vocal about certain things, and I'm very blunt when it comes to different things. But like that point in time, something just wasn't right. So it's like I had to go through that dark time, that low point in my life, and I'd be like, yeah, girl, what are you doing? Like, you know who you are, but what are you doing, girl? Like, you need to get it together. So
Yeah.
it's crazy you hear about that one up. So I'm like, man, I literally just wrote about that yesterday.
How did you like step back into your power though?
Oh, so I too had dealt with like a relationship, and it wasn't really like, technically I can't really claim it as a relationship because it was just kind of weird. But it was like it was just so many different things that was happening and so many different answers I was getting and like trying to ignore. But I do believe that everything can get better. But like you said, if you don't want better for yourself, well, if you want better, you gotta actively do it. And it's like, I be wanting people to step into their higher and greater self, but it's like, if they don't want it, you can't make them do that. So I had to go through that time, and I sat in it for a long time. And then it came to a point where like it just had to be let go. So when I was just by myself, I started to think like, well, why did you let this be prolonged? And it's like, yeah, you know, you got a big heart and everything like that, but you can't love somebody to the point where they change. Yeah. And I'm just like, yeah, like I know the power I have in myself, and it's like sometimes I cut myself off to like belittle me internally just to make others feel bigger.
I yeah.
And it's like, nah, you feel me? And it's like, nah, you can't do that, because if somebody else is intimidated by what you have inside, like, you can't just be a small being. Like, if I know I wasn't made to be small, I just can't. And physically speaking, I'm 5'11", so it's like I wasn't made to be a small individual, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and it's like I can't continue to do that type of thing just to make somebody else feel good about themselves.
But also, if you love me, why would you want me to be small with you? Why can't you come up to my level? Why can't you be up here with me? Why we can't be two big dogs together?
That's like, what I'm saying. But it's like, yeah, but at the same time, they don't love their stuff either. So it's like, that's the sad part. It really does.
That's exactly what it be. Yep.
If you could describe your class, what would you say? And for women who are first timers, how do you increase their comfortability level?
If I can describe my class, the one word I would use is sanctuary. As far as the description of the class, because I teach multiple classes. So there's a fit class that I do that like dance, Zumba, exercise type of vibe. There's 2 burlesque classes that I do. One is intro to burlesque, and then the other class is sensual and sexy, the art of striptease. So it really dives deeper into burlesque. There's floor work, a lot of physical touching of yourself involved. You had asked me another question. I'm trying to remember the question.
And then, for first timers, how do you up their comfortability level?
Yes. So for first timers, the first thing I do is ask, why are you here? I ask everyone. I want to know why you're here, but also it's to remind my students as to like, you came here for a reason. So like, don't just try to fade into the darkness during class. Like, don't get lost during class, and don't. So let me take a step back. There's some rules that I have for all my students. The first rule is, in the space, everybody is referred to each other as queen. Or if they have different pronouns, they can be referred to as king, or whatever royal placement they want to be referred to as. The second one is no comparison in any type of way. So I'll see a lot of my students come in and be like, oh girl, like, oh my God, you're so thick and beautiful, and like, I wish my body was like that. So like, I see women do that to each other a lot. And it's like, you can compliment a person without putting yourself down in the process. So like, if I compliment somebody, I'm like, oh, I love your hair. It's so beautiful. I'm not going to say, oh, damn, like, I wish my hair was that texture, right? So I want them to come into the space and be themselves, but also like remembering that when you compliment and you give praise to other people, don't put yourself down in the process. So, refer to each other as queen. no comparison, and the third one is never say I can't. So I know a lot of students are going to come into the class trying new things. It's just that I don't like the word I can't. We're mentally choosing to not do whatever task or try to do whatever task is that's in front of us. So having them remove the words I can't and replace it with I can and I will. In addition to that, we do an icebreaker, like a warm-up. I have my two spiritual babes. They start off with a meditation exercise where we have the folks sit there and meditate for the first 5 minutes, and then after that we go into a deep stretch with the sound bowls, and then after that we do the icebreakers, go over the rules, all that good stuff. So the reason why we go through this process is because we want folks to de-stress. Once you get here, we know sometimes we have bad days, good days, worse days. But when you come into the space, we want you to forget about the day you had. And also, like, just be in the moment and just be here for you. So that's the way we start off the classes.
How important would you say it is for women to strut her stuff on and off the stage?
You said strut her stuff? Like, I would say it's extremely important for any type of folks to strut their stuff off stage. Because this is who you are in your day-to-day life. I don't care because people got to understand this. Confidence is not like this. Confidence goes like this. Sometimes you're confident, sometimes you're not. Sometimes it goes up, it's linear, you know. Your confidence can go up and down. So it's something that you have to work on every single day. But being that person off stage is more important to me than being that person on stage. Like, you have to be that person on stage, yes. But in your day-to-day life, I need you to trust yourself. I need you to believe in yourself. I need you to trust that, like, and then also, so many thoughts are coming up in my head. But I want people to just love themselves. Like, the first step is, if you love yourself, like, if you love your body, if you love yourself mentally, if you love yourself as a good person, if you know whether or not you're a good or a bad person, like, all of these things, like self-awareness, that's what I want to say. Self-awareness can help build your confidence, because knowing the type of person you are can put you in a different place, in a different mindset, in a different stature as well. But also, strutting yourself on stage is very important. Because if you're performing in front of a large crowd, everybody needs to know that you're that girl. Okay? And then my students get so nervous. Like, they be like, oh, people are watching me. Of course they're watching you. You're performing. I need you to give them a show. Give them something to look at. People always ask me, like, Mocha, what do you say to yourself before you get on stage? Or, like, what words of affirmation do you give? And it's like, I know people are going to watch me, so I'm going to give them something to look at. Hello? That's what I say to myself. Like, I can and I will. I know people are going to watch me. I'm going to give them... I say a whole bunch of just words back to back. Sometimes it changes. I never say the same thing to myself before a performance. It depends on the performance. But, like, I'm always just popping my thing. I'm always popping my ish. That's it.
Yep, as you should.
Yeah.
A very important question I ask everybody who joins the show is about their dreams versus their passion. So, we all know everybody has dreams. Everybody's a dreamer. And you can just have these ideas but never put any fuel behind it to actually walk into whatever vision you have for yourself. And then your passion is something that you just love to do, that is something that you just wake up, eat, breathe, and sleep on. So with everything that you do you believe that this is a dream that came true for you, or is this your passion that you're walking in?
BCQ is definitely a passion. That's definitely a passion. Like, I feel better spiritually when I'm helping other people out. I'm also feeling better spiritually when I'm sharing knowledge, when I'm sharing resources with other people. I'm a strong believer in it. Like, it's enough out here for everybody to eat. So it's like, I don't mind sharing my platform. I don't mind sharing resources. I don't mind giving back to other people. And I feel like that's what a lot of people know me for. Like, MochaMocha2.0, she's one of those people that, like, whatever you call her, you ask her, you hit her up, she'll share the information with you. She'll take a moment out of her day to be like, oh yeah, let me help you let me educate you on this real quick. Like, let me give you the 1, 2, 3s. You feel me? BCQ is definitely a passion. It's something that I always want to do. And that ties into dance as well. My dream, on the other hand, is definitely something bigger with BCQ. I want BCQ to be a household name. Like, I want to do global fashion shows. I want to do global, bring out some attire, different types of attire that goes with body confidence. A whole little label. We want to do music too. So I feel like those things right there are dreams, but BCQ itself is definitely a passion of mine.
Okay, I love that. So, what year did you start BCQ?
BCQ officially became a business in 2020, but I started BCQ in 2018.
Okay. Yeah, because I ain't asked. I should ask that too. That close. But I want to thank you for joining me with this conversation. It was insightful for sure. Is there like anything special that you have coming up that the people should know about? How they get in contact with you?
Yes. So 2 things. On Sunday, May 18th, BCQ is having our 2nd annual Body Confidence for Queens student showcase audition. So every single year we put on a body positive showcase in which BCQ ourselves doesn't perform, but we choreograph the dances for the students to perform at the showcase. So we open up the auditions to folks no matter the performance level. You could be a beginner, an intermediate performer, or advanced dancer. It does not matter. But the style of dance that everyone will be learning is burlesque. But the student showcase itself, so we host a student showcase so that more folks can come and learn burlesque and also have the opportunity to perform burlesque in the Chicago area. So that auditions for that is coming up Sunday, May 18th from 1 to 4 p.m. The second thing, I want you to come to the show that we're having on June 26th. It is a Juneteenth burlesque show. It's going to be at the Newport Theater. The name of the burlesque show is Brown Bottom Burlesque. It features, the entire showcase is all black people of color on stage, shaking and gyrating and showing their arts. So it's gonna be a great time. And I'll make sure I send you 2 tickets for that show.
Okay, yeah, please do. Because I do not go outside. So it's like I'd be needing other places and other things to do.
Come. You'll have a good time. For sure. You will have a good time. Yeah.
Okay, back. Well, again, thank you for joining me on this episode. It was a delight talking to you, and you have a very nice aura. I feel it for sure.
I like to have fun. I'm lit.
Definitely.